Welcome, cousins, to another series on honest talk about women, where you'll learn tips, tricks, and strategies on navigating the minefields of dating and relationships. Please click on the like button, comment in the comment section, and also subscribe to the channel. This all helps the YouTube algorithm. If you have an interesting story you'd like to share with viewers, please contact me on my email address that's listed below. Today we're going to talk about how to find a date. This is a very common question that a lot of guys ask. There's various ways to look at dating and how to go about it, and the following are some tips. So this is a general overview. Every bit of advice I give down below every bit of advice I give through this video could be expanded into another video, and I will do that over time. So this is a general overview. Firstly, it's not an exclusive list. It will continually evolve over time. Secondly, dating is a skill that's learnt over time. So if you're starting out, you've just come out of a long-term marriage or a long-term relationship, or you've just come to a new country, you may be a little nervous, but we've all been there, and you'll get better and better as time goes on if you put in the effort and do the right thing for dating. So let's start. Firstly, with dating, you've got to be in the right mental state. It's no good being negative or in a gloomy sort of headspace. You need to be positive, you need to have that smile on your face, and you need to be serious too. So when you date, you need to put your best foot forward. If you're out of shape, you need to get into shape. Otherwise, you'll attract like for like. If you want to get into shape, then you got to go to the gym and get on that treadmill. You got to do the hard yards. You've got to pump the iron, go for walks in the evening. Every single day you should be exercising, and you should be in shape. No stomach, and good, reasonably good muscles. You don't have to go overboard and work out at the gym 7 days a week, pumping iron and eating chicken with no fat and lots of broccoli, or one of those diets to pump iron. You don't need to go over the top and be a huge big muscle guy. You just basically need to be in shape, no stomach, and thin around the face, no chubby face, and you'll be halfway there if you're physically there. And then you got to groom properly. Grooming is another topic that could fit 10 plus videos. Anything from shoe selection right through to the haircut and facial hair. Grooming is a big part, and when you meet someone, you automatically just run through their body and calculate how tidy they are. And if you turn up on a date with dirt underneath your fingernails, or unironed shirt, it just speaks echoes. So dating is all about putting your best foot forward, and being the best version of yourself, and being a happy chappy. If you've got a lot of baggage, if you're going through a bit of divorce, it's probably not the right time to get into the dating market. You've got to be in the right headspace, the right mental space to date and look at joining up with someone. There's a lot of red flags out there, guys, to be aware of, and I'll elaborate in later videos what those red flags are. The following will be just a general overview, but there's also green flags too, and what sort of green flags offer good signals. Also, with dating, you need to have game. Game is basically have an interesting aspect to yourself. A person that knows himself, he has direction in life, he's going places. A woman love a guy that's interesting and going places, and they want to jump on that journey with him and go with him. So it's all about having some game and to make yourself interesting towards women. Some may think it's too hard. This is all too hard. The juice is not worth the squeeze, and they prefer to be single. But I can assure you, loneliness is not nice, and there's nothing nicer than having a woman by your side. And if you find the right woman, 1 + 1 can equal 3. But you got to go through a lot to find that woman that you want to run with, who has the same culture, same values, and has intelligence. So let's get on to how to find that woman. Okay, let's start with a very easy tool out there that a lot of people are using these days, and it's dating apps. It's not my preferred solution strategy to meet women. Dating apps have mixed results, but they are definitely a tool, and to me they're a secondary tool. They're only something that you use after the real life experiences that you have every day. So I'll briefly talk about dating apps, and in later videos I'll go into greater detail. So there's basically two dating apps that are pretty big. There's Tinder and Bumble. Then there's a few other ones that are B grade, and then there's C grade ones, and then there's D grade that are scam ones. So if you focus on those two ones, you've got to put some effort into how you build your profile. If you're going to take this serious, and it's like a part-time job. It's not for the faint-hearted. You've got to be committed. You've got to be passionate, and you've got to put your best foot forward. And by saying that, that means when you do a profile on a dating app site, then it needs to be professional. And I'm not saying taking photos from the car seat with your seatbelt on, your safety vest shirt on, or whatever. You got to dress up in some iron shirts. Get a professional photographer. It doesn't cost a lot of money. You can get students who are looking to graduate that have all the technology. They can meet you in a park to take photos of you. You've got to, if you're going to do it, you're going to have to do it properly, and that means presenting well. And you're going to have to get some professional photos done. Don't do selfie photos of you with your seatbelt on, taking them on the way to work, and then downloading them on the app. That shows zero effort, guys. You need to put a lot more effort into it than that. You've got to brush up the best way you can with an iron shirt, clean shaven, with a nice outfit on that's conducive to women. Don't wear anything radical or obnoxious, or have shirts with "fuck you" on it. You see that in dating apps. And don't do the fingers when you're posting your photos. That's not professional at all. I always said all the time with women that, do that, and to me that's not professional at all. It's just, to me, that's fuck off. And why would you do that when you're trying to attract somebody? So there's a few things, guys, when you're dating on an app. You can get just a brief outline of who the woman is. And obviously, if they've got excessive tattoos, excessive facial earrings, swipe left. Remember, you've got to bring this woman home to your mother if she's still alive. And most likely your mother will be a lot more conservative than you are. And you don't want to freak her out. So you want to bring home that nice woman who's got good values, that's akin to your mother and will get along with your mother. There's a few no-nos on dating apps. I'll just briefly go through them. One is LDRs, long distance relationships. Don't do it. It's a waste of time. So if you get approached by someone in an overseas country, or you're looking at dating someone in an overseas country, complete waste of time. You've got to be in the same city. I know too many stories of people who have dated people for years in another country, India, Thailand, United States, and after a year, 2 years, they catch up, and it's a complete disaster. And so you've just wasted basically 2 years of your life. So LDRs, complete waste of time. The second one is sending thousands of texts to someone. It's just a complete waste of time. You go on dating apps to meet people in real life. You don't have some sort of fantasy, sort of virtual reality life where you just keep texting and sending emojis and videos and things like that. You need to meet people in real life to see what they are. So my advice is no more than 3 or 4 texts to someone, then ask for their number straight out. And if they don't give you their phone number, then that's it. Delete their profile, move on. It's crucial that you get their phone number, and it's crucial that you have a very brief 3 to 5 minute conversation with them, and then it's crucial that you meet them in real life, because when you meet them in real life, it tells you 1,000 things: body language, the clothes they're wearing, what their figure is like compared to what their photos are on the dating app, and so forth and so forth and so forth. And I'll take you through this in greater detail in videos that go into greater depth in this. The reason I say get their phone number is you've got to communicate in your native tongue to them. And given that no longer the language that was established in your country is no longer the only language spoken in the country, a lot of people speak different languages these days. You've got to be able to converse with them. And sometimes people may not speak your native tongue. And it makes it extremely hard to communicate. And that means there's an extra barrier involved in communicating with each other, and the chances of miscommunication go higher. So a quick 3 to 5 minute phone call, how are you, how's your day today, and just understand the language you're speaking, whether you can understand it or not. And then once that's established, that's a green light, you meet in person. And if you're going to date, if you're going to go onto the online apps, then you've got to meet them in real life to make sure they're not fake, because there's a lot of fake profiles out there. And then you tee up a date. And when you tee up a date, it's just a very simple date at a cafe, for a walk in the park, walk along the beach, simple coffee, simple tea, or a simple alcoholic drink. Nothing expensive, no more than $20, and you pay for it. You're the guy, you pay for it. Second or third date, you can get that sorted out down the track if they're any good. But the chances of a second or third date is less than 5 or 10%. So it's no good spending too much on a first date, like a $200 to $300 plus meal or more, because there's a good chance you're just handing out meal tickets to people who want to go out for a meal. It's a complete waste of money. Just limit it to a $20 cafe meet with a simple drink. Also, Tinder analytics is really interesting. You'll find that a lot of they can provide statistics on your swiping, and how many times you swiped left, how many times you swiped right, and so forth and so forth. And the general rule of thumb is you've got to swipe 1,000 plus times before you find one decent person. Some people say it's 16,000 they've had to swipe left before they find one good person that eventually goes through to a relationship. It's a very, very low probability of finding someone on a dating app. Therefore, I prefer my primary method, which is meet people in real life. And every single day, you have an opportunity to meet people. First thing I say to you guys out there is that when you meet people in real life, the first thing you do is look at their whether they have their wedding ring on. And if they don't have a wedding ring on, if they do have their wedding ring on, it's no game. You don't touch married women. So that's the first signal. Secondly, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Once you actually see someone, you can tell so much about them. The way they hold themselves, the way they dress, the way their confidence level, the way they greet people, the way they talk to people, and so forth and so forth. And I'll go through in greater detail in more videos down the track on that. Now, I'll give you some tips on places where you can meet women. Usually you've got to go where the women are. It's as simple as that. You've got to go where the women are. But there's two places that I would not advise you to meet people, and one of them is in the workplace, especially if you're working for a multinational company. Usually the bigger the company, the stricter they are with HR policies on cohabitation between employees. The last thing you want is demerit points on your HR file and lose your bonus. If some lady reports you to HR thinking that you're a creep and you're trying to seduce her. So it's not fair game. Outside the workplace, yes, because you're outside the perimeter and outside the jurisdiction of your company, that's fair game. The only way you can date in the workforce is if you own the company. And there's a lot of small companies that employ 2 to 5 people, and the owner of the company has basically chosen it as a way to select a girlfriend. And you see a lot of guys who are very successful in business, and they've had an affair with one of their employees, and it's become a marriage and a family, and they've been together for 30, 40 years. So if you own the company, obviously you are the rule book, and you can do what you like with as long as it's within the bounds of the sexual harassment policy that's governed by law. The second place I wouldn't look at dating women is at the gym. Yes, there can be some beautiful women there, but most gyms have very tight sexual harassment policies, and it only takes one woman to make a complaint and misconceive your approach, and you can have your membership banned. It's quite interesting. I was at the gym the other day. There's an Indian guy trying to chat up I think she looked like a Muslim lady. She had one of those headscarves, and the lady just let it rip and said, "You are just totally disgusting. I find your approach da 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 da." And I told them to tone it down because it was interfering with my music on my headphones. But they just looked at me, and she just continued going on about to this guy. So I don't know whether his membership was cancelled or whatever, but you just don't want to go down that track. You got to do things in a professional manner. Outside the gym, that's fine, but not inside the gym. Okay, so here's 10 places I would suggest for you to have a go to, because that's where the women hang out. This is not a all-inclusive list. It would vary from country to country, but these are activities that I've done that are successful. So number one, soccer club. Some people call it football in other parts of the world. Other people call it soccer. A lot of women play soccer, and I love soccer. And you can join a club and become a supporter and go to all their functions. And there's plenty of women there, I can tell you that. And they're all athletic. They're obviously into soccer, and they love the game. And you would have something in common. So if soccer's not your thing, if it's rugby or American football, as long as women play that sport, then do it. Number two is shopping malls. Women love shopping malls, and they love to shop, and it's what keeps retailing going, is shopping. So go to a shopping mall and look at the shops that are filled with women. There's always more women in a shopping mall than there is guys. I've never been in a shopping mall where it's the other way around or 50-50. There's always more women. So just look at the shops. Classic example, the other day I was looking for a sofa for my studio, and I went to a furniture shop and looked around, and beautiful sales rep there, and she had a wedding ring on, so she was no go. But who knows, she could have had some friends. So I said, I'm looking for a couch, and I gave her the conditions I wanted for the couch. I wanted low end, so you could put your head on there. Didn't want a boxed end. It needed to be comfortable. It needed to be leather, so forth and so forth. She showed me the different couches, and I said, look, I need a couch, right? Sit on my couch end and have my woman and stroke, put her head on my lap. I can stroke my hands through her hair, and vice versa. And she said, oh, do you have a girlfriend, do you? Because I didn't have a wedding ring on, I'm not married. And I said, no, but I'm looking for a girlfriend. And she says, well, I might have the one for you. So she's going to check your friend group and come back to me. So there's an opportunity there. Another one is smartphones. People love technology. A lot of women go into those shops, checking out the latest technology. You may go in there and pretend you're looking for a phone and start casually talking to someone. One is tennis club. Women love to play tennis, and tennis is a great game. So there's social tennis nights in your neighbourhood. Buy a tennis racket, go along. It's a great way to meet women. Fourth one is Airbnb. Some people have rooms in their house or granny flats out the back. They want to let out to Airbnb. There's a constant traffic of people coming and going, and sometimes encounters interaction. They come in and ask for some advice, some local advice, and you start talking to them. And if they're a nice unit, you keep going. The fifth one is a roommate. If you're flatting or renting a house and you're looking for roommates, get a roommate in that could be a potential girlfriend. You'll learn a lot about them living in the same house. you've heard plenty of stories where guys have fallen in love with their roommate. That's also an option these days, guys. If you own your own house, it's a little bit different. There can be legal issues there. She can rent a room from you in your own house, and then if you have a physical relationship and there's romance, it can get very tricky. So you'd need to make sure your house is in an ironclad agreement. That's your separate relationship property, and you'd need to get specialist legal advice in relation to that. So that's not something I can give. 6 is a dog park. Women love to take dogs or their own dogs to the park, and I've occasionally in the past had a dog, and I've always taken the dog to the dog park in the afternoon, usually between 4 and 6. That's where a lot of people are finishing work, and the dog's been locked up all day inside the house, and they take their dog out. And it's a great way to meet other people. You meet other people from the neighborhood, and there's some beautiful women in the park with their dogs. And also if your dog is playing with another dog, and the owner of the other dog is a beautiful lady, then wow, you've got it. You start talking. She's it. And number 7 is a library. If you're quite nerdy and you're not into bars and nightclubs, in fact, I don't do bars and nightclubs. They're a complete waste of time. In fact, I hardly drink at all. But I'm also not a nerd. But if you're quite nerdy and you like the nerdy type woman, go to a library. Go to a public library. If you're at university, go to a university library. It's amazing the amount of women in there studying, and obviously they're focusing on their studies, but if you walk past them a couple of times and they look up at you and you catch eyes at each other and you smile at each other, that's all good to go. Obviously you got to find an opening line to seduce her, but you got to get that phone number, and it's not hard to do in the library if you're in that environment. Number 8 is swimming club. I'm not a very good swimmer myself, and I joined the swimming club to practice swimming, and it was like 6 o'clock on a Wednesday morning once a week. And my swimming's got a lot to be desired, but I enjoyed it, and you met some beautiful women. No romance came out of that on that front, but you can check out the women physically. They're in their swimsuits. They look great, slim bodies, and they're athletic. And they're the type of woman you want to catch up with. Number 9 is a golf club. I know not a lot of you are into golf, but a golf club, especially the 19th hole, after you play your 18 holes, you go in for a beer afterwards or a drink. You come across some beautiful women, and that's another great place to meet. And the last one is a hiking club. Now, any Facebook would have plenty of groups for half-day walks, full-day tramps, overnighters, and even a week. Especially in my country, there's plenty of tramping clubs, and I've been on a few of them, and it's always interesting going on a tramp, because you see those people who have brought too much on their tramp and they can't handle the weight of their bag, and usually it's an office girl, very upmarket, and she hasn't had a lot of physical endurance during her life, and she's finding it uncomfortable, and she's only doing it because her friends are doing it. And one tramp I recently went on, she was complaining how heavy her back was, how heavy her backpack was, and she was a very attractive unit. And she was complaining that she had a sore back. And what happens? The simp of the group, the guy who just wants to please women, said, "I'll carry your backpack." And me and this other guy just chuckled, because there's no way he's going to get anything out of it. And he was just being accommodating. And she had learned a lesson. You only go into the bush with what you carry, and you got to go as light as possible. And she had every conceivable item in that bag, which is incredibly unpractical for the duration of our walk, and she should have suffered the consequences. But you always have those simps who are eager to take the backpack. And there's an elderly sort of guy, and he he didn't have a very high sexual market value, and I knew where he was coming from. But good luck, nothing eventuated out of that. Nothing was going to anyway. So that's basically the tips on how to meet girls. It all vary from country to country, but there's some good pointers there. Remember, guys, no more than spending $20 on the first date. It should be no more than a drink at a local cafe. You have a cup of tea, cup of coffee, then you go for a walk afterwards, and either along the beach or through a park. And that way you'll be able to gauge how fit she is. Fitness is really important, really important. Now, for those people that are from a different country that have come to your country, they may find Western women completely different or completely off the Richter scale. So in some ways they may have more cultural affinity with women back in their home country. So if you're from India, or from the Philippines or from China, and you think the Western women here are very different, you're not alone in your thinking. And if you bring a lady back from your home country, then and it's all consensual in accordance with proper law, then go for it. There's no problems with that at all. You may find that easier to align yourself with someone with your own cultural affinity than coming into a new country and expecting to date a local. Some people may say it's all too hard, Scott. The juice is not worth the squeeze, and I want to remain single. Well, that's pretty lonely, and I can assure you there are beautiful women out there. And if you find the right woman that has intelligence, your same intelligence as you, has beauty, is feminine, and where 1 + 1 = 3, you're onto a winner, and they are findable. You just got to keep searching and putting your best foot forward. That's it now, guys. So don't forget to click on the like button, and also on the subscription button, and comment in the comment section. And if you have any interesting stories you'd like to share with viewers, please, you can contact me on my email listed below. Until next time, get out there and find her until she finds someone else. Bye.